In my opinion, consulting is way more than just problem solving. I think of consulting as a partner along with a client business. And together, they are there to solve some of the most pressing challenges that the business is facing. Businesses and consultants together are finding a few paths forward, and consultants are there to help the business figure out what path is best in face of many challenges, headwinds, and decisions that need to be made, oftentimes in a split second.
So when I was entering the MBA program, I was kind of considering a couple different options. I was thinking about working on the healthcare internal strategy space or pursuing the consulting path, also kind of focusing in on healthcare. I ended up just really enjoying the idea of working in consulting, all the people that I was meeting, and the challenge of casing and preparing for interviews along with my classmates was just really, really exciting. So I think there are several qualities that consulting firms are looking for in MBA candidates.
I think companies are looking for people who are curious, who have exceptional communication skills.
You really have to be able to adapt and communicate clearly and effectively with clients, with your peers, with your bosses.
What consulting firms are really looking for and what makes clients the happiest is to be able to sit down at a table and know that the person sitting at the opposite end of that table, oftentimes the consultant, is truly listening.
What's the problem? How can we diagnose it? What's the plan we need to put in place? And then what are the steps we need to execute it and actually make it happen in the real world? So you can use experience from anywhere where you're kind of leading a project and kind of going through those steps.
Companies are very much looking for just individuals to take their skills from their prior experiences and that they learned at Owen and be able to transfer that into their roles in consulting.
For healthcare consulting in particular, they're really looking for a little bit of knowledge in healthcare. You don't have to be an expert in the industry by any means, but you really have to be able to kind of speak the language a little bit.
Whether it's their advanced analytics skills, their communications, their project management.
One of the things that I always said in my interviews was, I was somebody that got bored easily. And at first I thought saying something like that would kind of hinder me, but faces would light up when I said something like that because within consulting, that's something that they're looking for, somebody who's comfortable with new, different things.
The Owen Strategy and Consulting Club, which provides a wealth of materials and a wealth of connections, namely by way of second years who had already gone through the process in the previous year. The second major resource is, of course, the Career Management Center, and their fantastic career advisors have been there for every step of the way, and they'll help you develop a game plan to approach the entire recruiting, networking, and interview process. The Alumni Network may not be the largest network, but I can assure you it is perhaps the most powerful network out there. They are very willing to help students and are so honest and straightforward about what it is like to go through the process and tell them what a career, a day in the life of their career can be like. There are three main components to the preparation and interview process for consulting. So early on in the fall, around the August, September, and October timeframe, is when first-year MBA students have the opportunity to network with both Vanderbilt's and other practitioners in the consulting field by way of club-sponsored events, CMC-sponsored events. The second part of the preparation process involves the case interview. And so for several months before the interviews happen, around the January timeframe, the Owen Strategy and Consulting Club provides many weeks of preparation by way of meetings and lots of club materials to help first-year MBA students practice the case interview process, which is essentially a problem-solving component of the interview. The other part of the preparation process are the behavioral interviews, and that is the chance for first-year or candidates to tell their story, tell them about the richness of their experience that they've brought to the MBA program, how they can be a fantastic consultant, and what is their goals? What are their goals and motivations for entering this field?
Understanding how you work specifically with people, whether or not your background was in finance or marketing, giving those experiences that you have where you encounter different projects on how you led your team or how you solved problems and conflicts and stuff like that. So those are the conversations that they want to have.
We really dive deep into the case preparation process. And so This will have everything from, how to handle the tough math questions to how to structure your thinking and provide an overall recommendation for your case or your client when you're in consulting. And as you go through the process, there's tons of resources to drill when it comes to math or how to really strategically think about a problem or analyze a graph that you're given from your client or from your interviewer. And so Owen will walk you through all of those steps and help you get prepared. And then when you get to that case interview, you're ready to go and you can take kind of anything that comes your way. And the nice thing about the case prep is as you're going through it, it may feel like a lot, it may feel overwhelming and not as realistic. But once you actually start working in consulting and you have those clients, you can really see how those skills that you built have transferred over into your day-to-day work.
Some leadership experience. It doesn't have to be like large scale leadership, but even within your department or in your area, being able to say, okay, I saw a problem in my department and these are the steps I took to fix that problem. So what I recognized, kind of how I diagnosed it and got the team around me, and then what I did to execute that. And that could be in any industry, just showing that you have that logic is really important. Another topic that's really important for healthcare consulting is being able to be a team player. A lot of healthcare industries, it's kind of working together as a team, usually centered around a patient experience or a patient diagnosis. So really being able to work with others well and just showing that experience.
I think just having that propensity to be willing to work with technology today is perhaps one of the most valuable skills in consulting. That doesn't mean you have to be a master programmer to succeed in this field, but just have a willingness to dig into the spreadsheets, dig into the PowerPoint presentations, be willing to dig into the client data just a little bit to help them see what perhaps other people may not have been able to uncover before.
You really want to be able to go into the program with a plan. And so those pre-MBA conferences, the CMC hosts events, other Vanderbilt clubs may also host summer events, and those webinars and in-person options are really great for you to start developing your plan.
Know what your motivations are, what your goals are, where you want to be. Where do you see yourself at graduation 2 years from now? Where do you see yourself 5 years after graduation? And having a picture of that in mind is going to be such a powerful motivating tool to help navigate the whole MBA experience.